everyone, and welcome to the Evolve with Emily Show YouTube channel. The best way to support the show on this YouTube channel is to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and or share it with a friend. I hope that you guys enjoy this episode in whichever way you choose to support the show. I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. I hope that today's message and episode brings some bit of positive change to your life. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Evolve with Emily show. I am your host, Emily Hayden, and today's episode is one of my very first friends that I ever made in competing. She is a mom of two, Grace and Ian. She's been married for 17 years. 17. Can you guys believe that? Her and her husband, Josh, actually met when they were 13 years old. So he is her one and only. What a incredible love story, and I cannot wait to get into it. She's also the owner of 9 Round, a gym in Rosenberg, Texas. If you guys are in the area, make sure to check it out. Tell her your good friend Emily Hayden sent you. She is a national NPC bikini competitor, and truthfully, like just one of the dearest friends that has been such a special friend in my life and have such a special place in my heart always and forever. Like we will go, months sometimes without talking, and we always pick right back up where we left off. We have had some really incredible moments together. We've also shared a lot of tears together too. So without further ado, everybody, please welcome my good friend Priscilla Ruela to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. When you told me if I wanted to do a podcast with you, I was like, me? What did I do?
Really?
Yes, I was so excited.
You know what's so funny? I sometimes get nervous about asking my friends.
What?
Which is odd because a lot of my friends are, they're all in the industry too, right? Like you're a competitor, everything. But I think sometimes I'm like, do my friends want to like be on the show?
Oh my gosh. I was like,
so glad.
Josh, Emily asked me.
You know what's funny? I feel like I need to ask some of my family.
You should.
I feel like I should. I don't know why I get nervous with those closest to me.
Well, you had your dad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. Well, my dad, he's like, he does this, but everyone else, I'm like, I guess it's because I try to be sensitive to people about like being in the spotlight, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if everyone wants to like have their stuff online or like talk about,
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you said yes.
Thank you for having me.
So you have such a wide variety of life experience that I really want to get into it because I feel like you have so many different topics that could really help myself and the listeners. But let's go ahead and start back where you and I met. So if you guys don't know, Priscilla and I met at the very first bodybuilding competition that we ever did. It was actually a natural federation before we both joined the NPC, and Priscilla won first and the overall. She took the entire show. And wait, we have to give a shout out to Masera.
Oh, Masera.
Masera was like the third little three amigo.
Yes.
We all met at that show and we all became friends. And Masera, shout out. We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you.
We love you. She is thriving. Have you seen her on Instagram recently?
Heck yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. She's always like makeup done, hair done, out dancing.
Everything is done. I'm trying to convince her to do this show with me time. Yes, I'm trying to.
Do you think she will?
I hope so. I mean, she's in Dallas. The show is here in the Woodlands, so we'll see.
Okay, wow. Well, if anything, Masera, you got to come visit.
I know.
Okay, so what made you decide to compete in the first place?
I was actually teaching a kickboxing class at Title Boxing, and I overheard this lady that I looked at first when she came in, and she looked amazing. And she was telling the owner, I need to lose 20 pounds. I was like, what? Like when you hear someone saying that 20 pounds and they already look amazing,
right?
I was like, okay, what is wrong with you? Do you have like any problems? Do I need to be concerned before we start the class?
I hope you didn't phrase it like that. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? Like, do you need help? No, because she already looked amazing. And I was so puzzled. Like I've never heard anyone being so good looking, like physically, and saying it's like you tell me you need to lose 20 pounds. I'll be like, okay, something's not right.
Yeah.
And so she's like, no, don't get me wrong. I am doing a bikini competition. And she showed me the pictures of her competition. And I was like, I want to look like that. I mean, I was instructor and I wanted to look like her. Yeah. But I don't want to compete. I told her, I just want to look like that, but I don't want to compete. Like, okay, so would you train me? Of course. So we started training 8 weeks. I remember. By the end of the eighth week, she was like, you have to compete. I was like, are you sure? You look amazing.
Wait, is this one of our mutual friends?
Yeah, Jackie.
No? Oh, Jackie.
Yeah,
okay,
Jackie.
Cool.
So Jackie was like, you have to do this show. Because she was so close to Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
And so I was like, okay, what the heck? I'll do it. And I decided to do it. And then I saw you there. I remember looking at the mirror and just like fixing your hair. And we were all in the other room. And I was like, hey, come join us. Let's go to the other room. And you're like, okay. And then after that, we became inseparable.
It's crazy how the backstage conversation and just relationships, they start with like, oh, hey, let me fix your hair for you. Oh, hey, let me fix your little tie for you. And then it turns into a lifelong relationship.
Exactly.
You never know who you're going to meet backstage, girls. Don't get so upset if the show doesn't go well. You might meet a friend that is like a part of your life for forever.
Forever. And I remember like vividly the whole time we were backstage, we were together. Yeah. Like it was probably like what, 3 hours, 4 hours? At least,
yeah.
The first part of the show, and then at night we came back. I remember you came back with the shower cap and like the towels around you because it was raining.
Oh yes,
remember that?
It was pouring down rain. I forgot.
Every time we get together, it rains.
Okay, before the show, she just pointed out how every time we're together, it rains. Literally, even the first time we met, there's something there. There's something there with that. Literally, the last time we were together, well, the last 2 times we had dinner, it was raining. The time before that, it was an Instagram clip that I had her take, and I just like walked out in the rain. It was really dramatic, but I had a really good idea for a video.
Yes,
and it's raining right now.
It's raining right now. It rained last time when I came for dinner. So yeah, it rains all the time. Yeah,
we make it rain on them hoes. I had to. I had to let it out. Okay. So what made you love competing? Like, why did you end up, starting, you did that first show, and then after that you were in nationals and doing all sorts of shows. So what kind of lit that spark inside of you and made you want to continue?
I think the first thing that I loved was the physical transformation.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm laughing because I'm like, we were just laughing so hard, and now we're trying to be serious.
Scene. Like,
we both did that.
It's like,
yeah.
Oscar goes to.
Okay. Why do you love competing, Priscilla? Spit it out. I'll stop laughing.
Because I looked amazing.
That is the most honest answer. Damn, who can relate out there? Because I looked flawless. Damn it.
Because I had 0 fat in my body. Because nothing jiggled.
Hey, we like a little jiggle these days.
we do. Bit. Oh my gosh, like a little too much sometimes.
I don't think there's too much jiggle in the right places.
No, sometimes goes nuts. I mean,
That's true.
Have you seen the picture? I'm like, that's gonna grow teeth. It keeps growing.
I'm dead. We're not going to be able to get this podcast out. Oh my God. We should start another podcast together where we just talk about life things. Yeah.
We'll be banking.
100%. Oh my gosh. I haven't laughed this long in a long time.
Oh, every time we get together.
We cry, we laugh, it rains. It's a great time. Tag your best friend below. Who's your best friend that you get with and you guys just cry laughing?
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Man.
Well, going back to the question, when I saw, like I would look at girls, like competing girls and stuff, and I never thought in my life I would ever look like that. Mm-hmm. And I remember looking when only like cat videos would show on YouTube. I remember
cat videos.
Yeah, remember when it first started? It was just cat videos and dog videos. It was just a very like weird platform,
space.
Yeah, to go in. But I remember looking on YouTube for like those girls that were competing, and I had no idea what it was, but I just remember them looking so tan, but so
tan.
I know. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
I was just so confused. So when she told me about the bikini competition, I was like, is that what I used to look at on YouTube?
Oh, okay.
I wonder if that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And so she started training me, and I loved the way my body changed. Even people will be like, I never thought you could look like that.
Yeah.
I was like, me either. Like, I had no idea this is what you have to do to look like this.
You know, I have a similar story. The first time I saw a woman's body kind of look like that, it was on Pinterest. And I feel like I showed you the photo like way back when. But it was this girl in a white bikini, I still remember, and it was just her core, like from her chest to like her mid-thigh, right? Showing her core and her butt and her legs, basically. And I looked at it in amazement. I was like, I didn't know that the human body could look like that. Like, that's cool. If that's possible, I want to try.
I know. And that's why I got so excited. I was like, I want to keep doing this. I don't want to ever go back to looking what I look like. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Little did I know that that's not a forever look, you know, and that's when you start having like mental issues. And if you don't really have a strong mind, you can go down the river. Like, you can really, really lose it.
Yeah, that's real. And I think a lot of people experience that. Would you say that's probably the hardest part about competing?
It's the hardest part. Recovering. And also, I am so grateful that I'm a person that learns from other people's experiences. Like,
oh, wow. That's great.
I see someone going through something and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. Because if I do that, I'm going to suffer the same consequences. And so
I need to take some of that. I feel like sometimes I'm like, I'm different. It won't happen to me.
Oh, I know.
And then I'm like, why am I in a hellhole?
It's not like I saw it before.
Right. Like,
I did.
I have to like dig the hole myself.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not going to happen to me. Let me dig my own grave. Yes. And so I saw it time and time again. Girls competing. Then, girl, I remember like it was yesterday, the one show that we did, national show. And we went to H-E-B and we bought like 10 boxes of Oreos.
Yes.
And then we snapped a picture and sent it to Joe. And Joe's like, did you seriously bottle that for the after show? We were like,
yeah. And cookie butter. Do you remember the cookie butter?
Of course.
That was kind of the main
Yeah, we were
part.
doing the Takis with the cookie butter.
Takis? Did I don't think I did that.
We did everything with
did everything
with the cookie butter.
We're acting like we went on a drug binge. We did it all.
We did it all, yes. And after that show, I got so bloated and like my feet were swollen. And I remember texting you and Samantha. I was like, what is this? And you guys were like, oh, that has never happened to you? And I'm like, heck no. Like, what is happening? And so that whole bloating and whole thing, like, ruined my body completely. Like, after the show, like,
100%.
Where are my muscles? Where's everything that I worked so hard for? It was just covered by water, and that eventually turned into legit fat.
And you know what? I think what's sad is there's not, or at least when we started, like there really was not a lot of information out there.
Not at all.
And so that is such a newbie mistake, right? Like nowadays there's so much information out there. There's so many coaches, so many teams. There's so much free content everywhere about, guiding people through their first show, warning them about certain things like, hey, do not go and get a bunch of candy and cookies post show.
Exactly.
Even if you're not binging, even if you're just eating a lot of those things, it's still going to really negatively affect you. So I think one thing that sucks is that like that was out of pure ignorance, right? Like we thought like we're super lean. This is not going to affect us. It's going to be fine. And we're going to eat what we want because now the show's over. Yeah. And then we got to suffer those consequences.
Yeah. We started so early. I mean, we were with Amanda Latona. We were like all those like, like old school girls, not that they're old, but like the first girls that were competing, we were competing at that same time. So we had no knowledge of anything that we were doing. We just
dove in.
We're just going. We're just rolling, like competing show after show after show after show. I remember one year I did like 4 shows. And so for some girls, that's nothing. They do more than that. But like for us that we were so new in the industry, that was so like new for us. And then we were making so many mistakes, like that one mistake. After that, I was like, I'm never going to go through this again. Like never, ever. And so I learned to do like the reverse dieting and all of that. When people ask me, what are you doing? How can you stay so lean after a show? I'm like, I'm just doing a reverse diet. What is a reverse diet? Right now it's a must. You have to.
Oh,
like
100%.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
so yeah, what's your advice for new beginners that are out there listening to this? They're excited for their first show. What is your advice in regards to the show night and post show?
So the show night, just have fun. Like everything you could have done, you already did. Before the show, like right now that I'm prepping for the show, like my motto is you're not done until you're done, because I've been there, done that. And so it's so easy for me to cut it short, to run less minutes, to do less reps. So it's not done until I'm done. So my advice before the show is just do your best. Then it'll show the day of the show, the fruits of your hard work, it will show. So just enjoy. Even if you don't win anything, just the fact that you're going to make friends like you and I became friends. That's the best thing I can ever take from that show.
And that was in 2013. So we're actually 9 years in friendship. That's mind blowing to me.
I know it is.
Wow.
It is mind blowing.
Priscilla was actually in my wedding. For those of you that don't know.
And Grace, she was in my belly.
And she was also there for my divorce. And Grace.
And Grace
was there.
Grace was there too.
No, really, like that's how tight we are.
Yes, we were together with all those things. And then another advice is just have fun and then enjoy the moment and just don't look at anybody else. Like that's something that's so hard for me when I'm at the show. I'm just starting to look at other people's bodies and I'm like, ooh, that's what gets me. That's what really gets me.
You think you psych yourself out a little bit?
Yeah, totally. Because I think you're never good enough for yourself. Yeah, like you're never good enough.
Well, and there's always someone that has better glutes or better shoulders or a little bit better posing or colors are popping or whatever. You can always find a reason to compare and think that somebody else is better. Yeah. But the truth is you never know until you actually get on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember my first few shows, I remember like doing the same thing. I would like kind of size people up backstage and be like, okay, like I think they're going to be in the top, but I did always have this like inner like confidence that like I can do this, you know, but I would like place people in my head and then the outcome would be completely different. You know, a girl would go on there looking so shredded where I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if anyone can beat her. Yeah. And she sucks at posing, like just horrible. And I was definitely a girl that sucked at posing. So that's not like a down angle towards anyone. Like my posing was god awful. If I find a video, I should probably share it because it's hilarious. Like not a single coach on this earth would allow me to go on stage these days, but like back then it was all why was I allowed? Why was I allowed to go on stage?
We were
Hold on, I haven't been mad about that in 10 years. Why was I allowed on stage?
Well, listen, there was nothing we could learn from.
Yeah, true.
Right now you can
like,
go.
To be fair, we went to the judges. So like the judges helped me with that posing. It's hilarious.
They had no clue. What Bikini was back then is nothing compared to what Bikini is right now.
100%.
Like back there, we were like, I don't know, like, we deer. In the cave ages, you know, like it was like seriously like so different from what it is right now. Yeah. And so just do your best, forget about the rest, have fun, make friends, don't judge other people, don't look at other people's bodies. And then afterwards, chill.
Yeah.
The food will always be there.
100%.
The food will always be there. Just ease yourself into the food that you like one thing at a time. Just don't go crazy. Let's go eat all the burgers and all the fries. Like, why would you do that?
Don't focus on the food per se. Just focus on how you feel. So like for me, as a lifestyle, I love to eat healthy, nutritious foods. And then, of course, like I love a burger. I love a dessert. But if I have it, it's like one burger, right? Yeah. And like you share a dessert with somebody, or maybe you have an ice cream or a dessert for yourself, and that's literally it. And then you go back to drinking your greens and having your healthy food. So I would say, you know, as a competitor, I used to always ask myself this question right in the beginning when I was trying to switch my mindset from the unhealthy mindset to a healthier mindset. I would ask my question like, okay, how would I eat if I was just like a normal person that like wasn't this crazy competitor?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I would remind myself, oh yeah, like I would just have some burgers, have as much fries as I wanted, but like I don't need to finish it all. Right. So it's just kind of reminding yourself of all those cues, because if you're not careful, you can get really food focused and then build this really unhealthy relationship with food. But you know what? I feel like there's so much information out there. There's such incredible coaches out there these days that I feel like what we experience is not really happening at the rate that it is now. I really feel like there are good coaches that are guiding these girls through this. I know coaches that won't let their girls get on stage if they don't feel that they have it. And if their posing is not right, if, you know, they're not in the right physique. So like, and I love that. I love hearing that coaches are like, no, don't do this show.
Yeah.
You know, because I think
just wait for the next one and get you better.
Yeah, because there's no rush. Like there's a million shows all the time.
Exactly. And one other thing I want to point out, one of the shows that I did, I had Metabolic Damage. Mm-hmm. And so some people just don't understand what it is. And it's very important that girls understand what happens when you do a show and you deprive yourself from so much food and then you do so much cardio and a lot of workouts. What happens is you get metabolic damage, and the hormone that tells your brain you're full does not work.
Mm-hmm. The hunger hormone leptin.
Yes.
Right, leptin?
Yeah. And so it's not working after your show. So you have to make sure you work with your hormones to get you there again, because you're like so hungry and you're just not going to feel like you're satisfied, and you just keep on eating. And then girls are like, why am I gaining all this weight? Why can I stop eating? Well, because your hormones are not okay. So you more than know, than anybody knows how important it is to take care of your hormones, being through that already.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been through that too, but I remember you telling me about how you had to go through a whole series of things that you have to do to like put your hormones in a good place, you know, and it's just not something to play with.
It's really not. And I think, you know, people need to get their blood work checked before it gets bad. Yeah. So don't wait for you to be so exhausted that you can't get out of bed. Yeah. Don't wait for you to be dieting and doing cardio and training and it not working. Like, don't wait to feel horrible before you go get it done. Like, just make it just like you have like an annual exam, go and get your blood work done at least once a year. And if not, maybe twice a year if you are really heavily competing. Shameless plug. If you guys don't have anywhere to do that, you guys can hit up Transcend. There's a link down below. They have licensed doctors in all 50 states. So no matter where you're at in the United States, you can just fill out an application online. They order all the blood work. So it's a comprehensive panel. And that's what I love about using a company that has familiarity with bodybuilding and athletes, is they know what kind of tests to run. So they know how to do a full panel. So you'll get your full panel, and then they'll let you know, if you have anything off, they'll help you figure out how to get that back on track, as well as just be able to optimize anything that you're looking for. Yeah. So definitely recommend that. Link is down below, and you can use my code Emily20. So blood work, super important.
Super important. Even after every show.
100%.
I would say every show. Do it before and after and see where your hormones are. And then if your hormones are not okay, you need to make sure they go back to normal before you can even start making any big decisions like going to another show. What's going to happen after that? If you keep on doing that, you're just going to have complete adrenal fatigue, metabolic damage. That's not going to be able to go back to normal or normal levels. And I've seen girls like, now that I'm going back to the competitions and stuff like that, I went back to looking at the girls and I'm like, what happened to this girl? Like, she was so fit. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I went back and checked and I'm like, what happened? And then I went back and back and back and back. And then what I noticed is like show after show after show after show after show after show. And so it ended up being a complete mess. And so you don't want that. You want to make sure if you want to do something, do it a balanced show, then wait, do another show, and then wait, like work on your body, work on your mind, your spirit, everything, and then do another show. I mean, like you say, like there's so many shows.
Yeah, and they're always there, and they will always take your money. So you can do all the shows if you want.
Exactly.
Just, spread it out.
Spread it out.
Yeah, no, I think that's really great advice. And I think it's great advice to focus on not just your body and the training and even your blood work, but like you said, the mind and the spirit. I think self-awareness is really vital, especially in competing. But it's really vital to really ask yourself, how is my relationship with food right now? How is my mindset right now? Am I really stuck in this like negative self-talk? Am I stuck in comparison? What are some tips or tools that you utilize whenever you're stuck in comparison? Maybe you're like on Instagram a lot, comparing yourself against other girls. What do you do to help yourself like snap out of that?
That's such a great question, because I think it happens to everybody, even, boys and girls. Yeah. It happens to everybody. One of the things that I am just shocked right now is how false and how untrue social media is, especially.
Amen.
Yes. You can have a filter make you look like you have a six-pack, and you zoom in and it looks like it's you. You don't see a blurry edge or anything like that.
There's a six-pack filter?
Oh, there is.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Smile. You can change smiles. You can change nose. You can change everything. And that is being so detrimental for everybody right now, because people are judging themselves through the eye of a filter.
Yeah, I like the features where now it's like telling you on Instagram stories when people are using filters, because there's so many times where I'm like, oh my gosh, like they are so perfect, and then I look and I see they're using a filter, and I'm like, wait, let me try this filter and see what it's like, and then I do use it on mine, and it's like not even the same face.
It's not even you.
That I'm like, oh, okay, I feel a lot better.
You feel a lot better. Exactly.
Like, okay, she doesn't look like that either. Like, and I don't hate on filters. Like,
I don't. I use them.
Yeah, I know some people love them, and like that's totally cool. But it definitely, like, that's my tip for everyone. Like, just try the filter that they're using and you might be like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. But the only thing that I see, the problem is that there are some filters and there are apps you can use that people have no idea what you're using and they think it's you.
Yeah.
I've seen videos on YouTube of girls unmasking people from social media saying, you see this girl right here, this is how she looks on social media, this is how she really looks in real life, and she's completely different. Completely different. But girls are judging themselves through the lens and through the filters that they're using. And I've seen also interviews of celebrities saying, girls, don't look at my magazines. Don't look at my pictures in the magazines because I don't even look like that. I wish I looked like that.
Yeah.
But I don't even look like that. Yeah. And so when you're stuck in looking at girls a certain way and you want to look like them and you're like feeling bad about yourself, that's a red flag right there.
Oh my gosh.
So you need to stop. You just need to stop, regroup, and be like, okay, just number one, this girl's never looked like this. No skin is perfect. No body's perfect. I mean, just think about them using all these tools, and there's a whole production going on behind that picture that will make them look like that, because that's so their only job.
And I think what you're mentioning is really important. You are helping people to be educated and aware to what's going on behind the photo, right? That way, when you see the photo, you don't have to view it negatively, but it's just saying like, okay, I'm aware this photo's probably been touched up. She's probably used smooth on her skin a little bit, and good for her. Like, she looks great, but just remind yourself, don't compare to something that's not real. Yeah. And if you ever need a reality check, just go to the gym, like in person, or go to the grocery store and look at the women that are there, right? Like, see the women that are working out and see how their bodies move in real life. Like, don't just compare yourself to produced, content on Instagram.
Exactly. People you never know, you've never seen, and that you think they look perfect. Listen, there's a video of this girl that I absolutely love. She is, she goes and asks usually men, and she made this video and she asked probably like 40 guys. And I had a problem like self-esteem with cellulite. And I'm like, I came to the conclusion that who cares? Like, we all have it.
100%.
And this girl helped me because she went and asked like 40 guys, do you mind if a girl has cellulite or not? 100% of the guys said, I don't mind.
100%.
100%.
See, isn't that crazy? And us girls,
crazy. And we're judge ourselves so hard. And then these are guys that are good looking or just random guys on the street. And then she said, would you like to date a girl that has cellulite or no cellulite? Almost 100% of the guys said, I want to date the girl that has a cellulite.
I will tell you this. Men love a real woman.
Real woman. They rap about it.
They literally rap about it. Go ahead. I'll give you a beat.
I don't remember it now, but like, I want to see the stretch marks. I don't want to see the Photoshop.
Yes, that was so good.
So they do that. And so guys, they don't care. And who are we worried about? We worry about the guys.
Men, if any of you are listening, will you comment down below and let the women know what you think about some real woman with stretch marks and
cellulite.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
So it's very important to understand. And then I saw another video of this guy saying, he's such a nice guy. He always gives advice on dating and stuff like that. And he's like, listen, girls, I don't care if a girl has cellulite. I just don't care. I like the woman's body. I'm not worried. Like, let me see. Show me your booty. Do you have cellulite? If you do, I'm not going to date you. Like,
first date, show me your booty.
Yeah, show me your booty.
Nice.
No one cares. Like, no one cares. So why would we care? We're so hard on ourselves, and just we hurt our mind and our hearts and our soul just trying to be someone that we're not.
Yeah. How do you work through that? So as someone who has like experienced that direct issue, how were you able to kind of just like snap out of it? Was it just this realization that like you were the only one that cares about this and that you're hyper focusing on it, or what was it that like helped you to come out of it?
I see other girls wearing like almost like tiny shorts and going out, and I'm like, whoa.
Like they're confident about it.
And they're so confident about it, going to the gym and walking around, and I'm like, what? Like, no one cares.
So other women's confidence actually gave you confidence.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Exactly. Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm Hispanic, and Hispanics are so judgmental.
Oh, really?
So judgmental.
Oh.
You have a cricket nail, and you're like,
stop. No, I'm covering my nails.
No, I am not like that, but like, It's an issue.
Really?
It's an issue in Latin America. Girls are so
like towards each other, like catty.
Yes.
Wow.
Like even guys, like, why do you have a pimple?
No.
I am telling you. It's not something I'm happy about. It's not something we should be proud about.
Right.
But they're so focused on like the appearance.
Wow.
You know?
Okay.
And so I came to learn here that girls really don't care. Like, not that they don't care, but just like they feel confident, they feel happy, showing cellulite, showing stretch marks.
Yeah, like you can be happy in what you are.
Yeah. And so I'm like, if this girl comes out like that and she doesn't care and she runs and she does her workout looking like that and she looks amazing, why would I care?
I love that so much. Okay, so you're you're prepping for a show right now. So talk to me about what show are you doing? How many weeks out are you? And how you're feeling with your current prep? And if there's anything different that you've changed about this prep compared to maybe your last prep?
Yes, I feel like this prep is so different. Like I took a 3-year break, talking about breaks during shows.
Yeah.
My last show, I did it when my daughter was 2.5 or 2 years. And I placed 3rd. And I was so happy with my body. I just did it to get back into like real good shape. Like after the show, you gain weight and you look good. Like, you feel good about it. And so after that show, I was like, I don't think I'm going to compete again. And then...
what was the reasoning for that?
Because I had already attained what I wanted, which was like look good. But the only way I could look that good was doing a show, like pushing myself and like making myself accountable because there was a show coming up,
Totally.
Not because, I'm going to go to the beach and then I'm like, who cares? I don't know anybody at the beach. So
right.
I'm not going to prep for the beach.
That is so real. How many people here have said they were going to like prep for a vacation or prep for a trip and then you kind of slip up and you're like, it literally doesn't matter. It's me and my family.
Nobody cares. Like even if they look at me,
gonna
like,
notice.
I'll just put a cover up, but you cannot put a cover up on a show. You have to look good.
Yeah.
And so that's why I did it. And then I was like, you know what? I already attained that, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then I became pregnant again with my son. And the second time around, it took me a longer to get in shape. They always told me like the second baby, it's a little harder.
Oh, really?
To get back in shape. Yeah, because your body is like already knows what to do when you're pregnant the second time. And so it goes bigger a little more. Everybody's different. Like not everybody's the same, but it happened to me. So it just took me a little longer to get back in shape, a little over a year. And so now that my son is almost 3 and that he's not so dependent on me, I think it's time. Also, my cousin's competing in Mexico and she's a judge. It's so weird. Like judges can compete. Yeah, she's an FBB judge. And so IFBB judge. And so she was like, I'm going to do a show in April. I was like, well, let me see what shows there are here in Houston in April. And so there's one here in the Woodlands. I cannot remember the name.
Okay. So in the Woodlands in April.
April 16th. Yes.
April 16th. Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? Let me just do it too. Let me just bite the bullet. I want to go back into real good shape and just feel good about myself. Now that I know what I'm doing, I talked to, Joe, which I'm doing it with Joe with Team Edge.
Oh my goodness. Tell him I say hi.
Oh, I will.
Oh my gosh. Can you believe how big the boys are?
Oh my gosh. They're
twins.
So big already.
I cannot believe it. They're in jiu-jitsu. They're doing amazing. Ingrid, oh my gosh.
I think Ingrid's doing jiu-jitsu too.
Ingrid's doing jiu-jitsu?
I think so.
I'm going to lose it. That's amazing. That makes me so happy. I've seen her. She's been doing her like not the TikTok. Well, maybe it is TikTok. I don't know. But she posts them on Instagram, like the reels with the opposing clients. And I'm like,
oh, I know.
I miss her sass.
I know. She's so good. I know. I hope I can see her again one day. But I told Joe, hey, Joe, I think I want to do this show again. Is that okay if I'm here? He's like, please. You do you. And so this time around, like I know my body. I know what works, what doesn't work. I'm just going to follow what I believe my body likes. I'm not going to do anything that's going to hurt myself, like hurt my body or my mind.
Good.
Done it so many times already. It's like if you decide to do a show, you would know what direction to take.
And you can be really intentional with like every single day, making sure your mind's in the right place, your training is on point. Because once you did enough, you understand like it's more simple than people think, actually. It just requires the most insane amount of dedication to the plan. There's a plan, just follow the plan.
Exactly.
And when you need to, readjust the plan.
Exactly.
As long as your body's working. I've had 2 years in a row with failed preps, right?
Oh, you told me about it.
Yeah.
That
so
was crazy.
if your body works, it will happen.
Exactly. And then I started 3 weeks ago, and this is the longest prep I've ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 14 weeks. I've never done 14 weeks. I remember the last show I did.
I've done such longer preps.
No way. My last show, it was 7 weeks.
Are you kidding me?
I was in such good shape. I'm telling you, when you consistently do what you need to do, and then you look at yourself.
My body would not be ready in 7 weeks at all.
I sent a picture to Joe, and I was like, "Do you think I can be ready in 7 weeks?" He's like, "Heck yeah!" So I prepped for 7 weeks, and so for me, 14-week prep is like
long. Okay,
heck of a prep. Yes.
Well, just remember today's your only day to prep.
Exactly.
You literally only get today to prep.
And
today
I'm not done until I'm done.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. Okay, well, let's switch gears a little bit into marriage. So you have been married for 17 years. Yes. You guys met when you were 13 years old. How does one stay with the same person for 17 years these days? Because we never hear about that, at least not in our age range, right? Like I feel like, some grandparents and things like that, that's pretty common. But you being in our age group, being married for 17 years, I'm sure had a lot of highs and lows in that. So like, how have you guys been able to cultivate a happy, healthy marriage?
I wish it was simple as one answer.
I know. I'm like, that's such a big question.
Yeah, it's a big question because marriage is such an estimated thing. Like people think marriage is some disposable lifestyle, like boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, if I don't like you, I'll just dump you.
Right.
And I hear so many people saying like, I'll just get married, and if things don't go well, I'll just go on. Wow. Yeah. I mean, they already go into marriage, like with that mentality. And so I think the number one thing that we have to consider when you're married is that you are not him and he is not you. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand that you are both different. Mm-hmm. You're both different, and you have to love each other and respect each other the way they are. You cannot go into marriage thinking I'm going to change him and I'm going to turn him into the person I want him to be for me. That's so selfish. Yeah. You have to go into marriage thinking I am going to love him regardless.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Regardless, because like we are so different. And I remember when we were first married, like the first couple of years, I told Josh, we're so different. And Josh is like, I thought we were identical. I'm like, we're not. We're so different. We're two different people. We're people that grew up in a different environment, a different education. Everything was so different. But the beautiful thing about it is that you have to learn to love, and you have to decide to love that person. You cannot just randomly love someone. You have to decide to love the person. You have to decide to love the person regardless. And I know this is so hard right now. Like, I have friends that are going through so many things with their marriage. And it's hard. I mean, I see them and I'm like, I understand why you are having such a hard time in your marriage. But it's a decision. Like I decide to love you and I decide to work this through, and then sometimes it is important to talk things, like I don't agree with the way you're doing things. Some guys need to, or some girls need to hear the truth. Like, listen, if you're married to someone that's not going to, it's not going to listen to you, or it's not treating you right, you tell them. You tell the person, you know what, tomorrow, 2 p.m., we have a meeting. You need to be there. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about our marriage. And then you talk about the marriage. If the guy loves you enough, he'll fight for you, or she will fight for you. But just understand that you cannot expect to have a good marriage when you don't have a good relationship before getting married. Like, marriage doesn't change anything. So whatever you bring with you from your previous relationship, from the relationship you had previously to marriage, it's going to come with you. And it's going to intensify because you think there's nowhere I can go now. Like, do you know how many divorces and how many issues with marriages happened during COVID, like during the lockdown? Like, divorce increased so much. So much. Why? Because they have to spend time together. Right now, people are married, but they're living separate lives, like they're roommates.
It's true.
And so, if you find yourself in that situation, something has to change. You have to understand, like, you are not going to have a successful marriage if you're just roommates, or if you don't respect each other, or if you don't choose to love that person. I think that's very important. And also seek for help. Because some people are just so embarrassed that they're married, that their relationship is not working. They don't want to tell anyone. They just want to pretend that everything's okay. But no, why would you go through that? Look for help. Like there's so many people that can help you, so many professionals that can help you go through marriage, go through life, go through friendships and boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I mean, the help is there. It's just you wanting to go and look for it.
Oh my gosh, so many golden nuggets of wisdom. Something that you said that I think was really important is, like you said, not trying to change the person. And one question that my dad says to ask before you're getting into a relationship and definitely a marriage is like, and I don't remember exactly how he phrases it, so I hope he doesn't listen to this and be like, that is not what I said. But it's something along the lines of asking yourself, like, do I fully accept this person as is with no changes? And you have to be able to say yes across all the board. And if you can say yes, like across the entire board, then like, yes, move forward with that relationship. Yeah. But if you are in the relationship and you're like, no, like I love them, but like I need them to grow to here, that's like a very big red flag that that's not the right relationship for you. And maybe it's wrong timing, but I think that's just definitely a really good direction, I guess, that you can have, something to guide you along the way, right?
Yes.
Like one of those questions that can really show you if this is the right relationship for you. And hey, if you're already in the relationship, that's different. Yeah. Like if you're already in the marriage, yeah, like that's different. Hold on a second.
Yes.
But I agree with what you're saying. Like there's no shame in getting help. And I think that this generation is more open than any generation to get help and therapy. I feel like it's more widely talked about, which I'm happy about. But I agree. I think just utilize those resources. If you guys can't figure it out, find somebody that can help guide you. An outside person is so helpful because then it's like both parties are able to just listen, receive, and act upon what they listened and received. Whereas when you're just talking to each other, sometimes it can just feel like things are being bounced around the walls and nothing, you're not getting anywhere.
Because you see things a certain way, and the person, your partner, sees it on a complete different way, and you will never understand.
You both think you're right.
Yeah, exactly. There has been many times when Josh and I are like, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this subject, and that's okay. Just move on, move forward. Like you think this way, I think this way. And so just move forward and definitely look for help, because help is there. You know, it's just being humble enough to say, you know what, we need to go look for it.
And I will also say, I think that, not to get too deep into things, but I will just say, I do think that there's an attack on the family structure and on marriage in general, like in a spiritual way. So for those listening, be aware to that. And if you married someone and you're in a marriage right now and you married them out of love and you guys had a really good relationship and it's on the rocks right now for whatever reason, fight. Yes. Like fight for it. Don't give up. Don't just throw in the towel. Actually fight for it. Of course, there are very small instances where I feel like in those cases you need to leave, right? The major ones like abuse and toxicity and certain things like that. And you will know what that is. But when it's not that, when it's just troubles and it's just on the rocks, like really fight for that and tell your partner, be like, look, I don't like this. We both don't like this, but screw that. Like we're going to fight. Like let's fight, let's find help and let's get through this. Having that kind of mindset, I think will help you a lot. And I think your mindset's everything. If you go into it and if you're like, this sucks, it's not going anywhere, I should just leave because everyone else is doing it. Don't let your mind go there, or else that's exactly what will happen inside of your relationship. So just be aware spiritually that that's what's happening and make sure that it's not happening in your marriage and in your life. Yeah.
And that's so important you say that, because God created family, God created marriage. And so Satan will go against everything God created. So he's not happy that someone's married. He's not happy about families. He's here to steal and destroy. And so he will steal your joy. He will steal your happiness. He will steal your marriage. He will destroy your family if you let him. And so you have to make sure and be aware that he's out there.
Absolutely.
He's looking for you.
Yeah. I read yesterday, it was actually at the end of Revelations. It's like this little explanation. It was saying how God creates, and because Satan can't create anything, he manipulates and tries to destroy what was created, right? So he comes in and tries to manipulate a marriage relationship, tries to destroy a marriage relationship. So just be really aware to that, because I think if you're aware to it, you might start to pick up on things that make more sense spiritually than they do physically. And then you can go to battle for it. You can actually pray properly and pray against the things that are coming at your marriage. And guess what? Just like God uses people, Satan uses people too. So you may think that it's this girl that's coming into your marriage, but she's really just being used by a a force, right? So understand that it's like the negative force that she's allowing to be used through her against your marriage, and pray against the force, not the person.
Yeah, exactly. And then Bible says like after Jesus was praying 40 days, he was hungry and thirsty. And then Satan came.
Oh, wow.
Jesus was weak. Mm-hmm. He was starving. He was thirsty. And then Satan came. So Satan's not going to come and bring a girl in front of your husband when he's the strongest.
Yeah, and when he's super into you and things are super great, of course. He's not going to care.
Of course. Do you think he's going to care after you just got married and you're so in love? If a girl comes like and stands in front of your husband, he's going to care less.
Right.
But if you're weak, spiritually, emotionally, physically, then you will start seeing things that you didn't see before.
Yeah,
and it's going to be so easy to fall. So easy. And then you're going to be like, what happened? Like, how did I get here? How did I get myself into this situation? I would have never done this before. But what happened? You were weak. And that's what Satan uses. And he's watching you. Do you think he's not watching you? He's watching you 24/7. That's his only job. And he has so many other like entities and things doing the same thing, like demons and people surrounding you to destroy you. And so you have to make sure that you're not only focusing on staying strong spiritually, regardless of your religion, just look for God, seek him, and you will find him.
God is love. So look for God, look for the ultimate source of love.
Exactly. Look for him and you will find him. If you knock, the door will be opened.
And I just want to remind you that there is more love and more power and more greatness inside of one drop of the blood of Jesus than there is all the evil in the entire world.
Exactly.
So as we say that, yeah, there is evil. Evil is on the earth. Don't allow that to scare you. Just allow it to make you aware and equip yourself properly. Know to spend time with God. Know to fill yourself up spiritually, because even the tiniest amount of God's love is more than all the evil in the world. So just remind yourself of that, because there's no reason to be scared, because we've already won.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you're one person that's looking for guidance and looking for God, you're looking for love, if you're listening to this and you're like, I need that, like, how do I get that? Just pray. God, I need you. Like, show me, where are you? I need you. And he will show you. He will show you the way. I am 100% sure.
Absolutely. I think that's beautiful. And it's true. It says anyone that seeks him with their whole heart will find him. It's actually a promise. So you don't have to wonder, will God show me that he's real? Will God show up for me? 100%, without a doubt, he will. Just seek him with your entire heart and don't quit. Yeah. Don't give up. Don't, pray once and be like, okay, I tried.
Yeah,
no. Yeah. Like, show up, really seek him, diligently seek him, and you will find what you're looking for.
Right.
And then you'll have your own experience, your own knowing that God is real. He exists. He is with you, and he is covering you. And once you know that, that's where you can get that strong confidence and that knowing that you don't have to worry about the evil that's on the world, because you have the victor and you have the victory through Jesus.
Exactly.
Knowing that gives you the most amount of confidence and love, and you're able to share that with others too. So that was a really cool tangent that we just went on.
Oh, that was cool.
That was fun.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a, really great marriage advice. And I totally agree. Now I have to kind of switch gears a little bit, because when we were friends, I remember when it was just you and Josh, and I was like, do you want children? And you're like, no, we're just so happy and so in love, and we love our marriage. And I don't really know if kids are for us. Like, I'm not really sure that it's our thing,
You remember?
I remember. Oh my gosh, of course. And I was just like, oh wow, that's so cool. And then you became a mom, and now you're this most incredible mom ever. Like, and now I see it so clearly. I'm like, duh, she's supposed to be a mom.
Yeah.
But what happened? What was the flop? And tell me about that experience, because I'm sure there are other people out here that maybe they feel the same. So how did that change for you? And what did becoming a mom change in your life?
Okay, so I don't think I've ever told you this, but we couldn't have kids.
I didn't know that.
We couldn't have kids. We tried to have kids for 11 years.
Priscilla, I didn't know this.
Pregnant.
I'm gonna cry.
And so the only way for me to kind of cope with that was saying, I just don't want kids. I just love my life without kids, because I couldn't have kids.
I didn't.
Oh, so I never told you. Oh,
That's so sweet.
Yes, I couldn't have kids, and it was such a hard, and I had so many miscarriages.
I didn't know this.
Lost so many babies. Yes, it was so hard. So both of my kids are rainbow babies. Yeah. And I was just like, we were trying for so long, and I came to the conclusion that maybe babies were not for me. Like, you know, like I'm just going to make my life the best I can without kids. Yeah. And it was just something that I would tell myself so I would not suffer that much. Like I would block my pain with that, telling everybody, oh, I don't want to have kids. Kids are not for me. I just want to travel the world and drink champagne. Yeah. And when the reality was I couldn't have kids. Wow. And so I remember one time after so many tries and so many miscarriages, I told God, like, you know what, God, if you want me to be a mother, then show me and help me, because there's nothing I can do, nothing I can do. And it's in your hands. And so I remember one day I was standing in my kitchen and I heard the voice of God. Like, I've never told this to almost anybody, but I heard God telling me, you are ready to be a mom. And then I felt this cold kind of like air and going from the top of my head to the tip of my feet, like my fingers. I was like my toes. It went all the way up and down. I felt this cold feeling in my body, kind of like he was healing me. Wow. And I became pregnant that month.
Are you kidding?
But I heard God telling me, you are ready to be a mom.
Wow.
And I became pregnant. My pregnancy was perfect. Then I was planning on having a natural birth, and I couldn't have a natural birth. I ended up having an emergency C-section. And my doctor, when he was doing my C-section, he realized that I had a massive amount of endometriosis, which is some skin that goes around your uterus, so no embryo can attach to your uterus. And he told me, your baby's a miracle, because there's no way someone can become pregnant with the amount of endometriosis you had. And so I removed it all, he said. So now you're going to be able to get pregnant again really easily. So that's why I couldn't get pregnant. I had that problem. And so if I had a perfect birth like I planned to, and not an emergency C-section, I would have never known that I had endometriosis. Wow. So when I had Grace, he removed everything, and that's how I was able to have Ian after 3 years. Then I had a miscarriage before Ian again. So I started to feeling like worried about that again, that was going to happen again. But no, after that, I had Ian and everything changed. But when I had my daughter, I was like, I was meant to be a mother. Like, if I don't do anything else in the world but to be a mom, I am so happy. Like, I enjoy it as a ministry. Like, this is so wonderful. Like, I wanted it so bad, but I didn't want to tell anyone that I wanted it so bad. Because you know what? I don't want to say hate, because that's a strong word, but I don't like to be a victim. Yeah. I'm not that person.
That's why we're friends.
Exactly. I don't like to be like, putting myself down and like, I can't have kids. And like, I want people to feel sorry for me. I just can't stand that. It's something that I don't know if it's a flaw or it's a virtue. I don't know. I just don't like it. And so I didn't want to tell anyone that I was going through that, because I didn't want people to be like, oh, poor you can't have babies. I'm so sorry.
Like, you just didn't want that attention on you.
I didn't want that attention. Yes.
You know, I think there's a little bit of wisdom in that, actually. Like, I believe that you absolutely should have like close friends and families that you are able to share that with, and, you know, people to help you work through that. But I do think there's wisdom in maybe not sharing that with everyone, right? Imagine telling the random grocery store people like, yeah, I can't. They're going to give you that sympathy, and then you take that like low energy onto you. So I think there's wisdom in not sharing it with everyone.
Yeah, you pick the people that you want to share it to. I didn't even share that my emotions with close family members, because I just don't. I didn't want to be the girl that people would feel sorry for. Like, I just wanted to enjoy life for what I already had. Like, I wanted to enjoy my marriage, that I could travel, I could compete, I could go to nationals with the kids, and, you know, like do things that I could without the kids. I enjoyed my life so much before having kids, because I was like, if this is my life, then I'm going to make the best out of it. Like, I'm not going to be in a hole crying because I can't have kids. Yeah. And now that I have kids, I enjoy everything about having kids. It's just so wonderful. Wow. But that's the truth behind me saying, I don't want to have kids. It's just like a mask, like trying to like what do you say? The mechanism, like self, defense mechanism.
Yeah, self-defense.
Like trying to like protect my heart from the pity and then
absolutely
feeling sorry for me.
Absolutely. I get that. Thank you so much for choosing to share that. That touched my heart so many ways, because God is so good. Like, to take you from that and to now have 2 beautiful children who have the most beautiful eyes in the world. Like, it's just so beautiful. Are you able to share any advice, anything that you could say to people that are going through miscarriages?
Wow, that's so hard. Yes, and I do have an advice, but I understand. Listen, when I went through that, I remember I didn't want to cry. I was like, I don't want to cry. Like, I was crying so much, but it was like, I don't want to cry, but my body would cry. You know, like I would just start crying and crying and crying and feeling so sad. It's just a loss that your body's going through. And so it affects your hormones and affects everything, your mind. And it also affects your willingness to keep trying.
Yeah.
I remember a friend, a close friend, I would tell her the situation we were going through. She was like, please don't give up. Just don't give up. And I told her, it's so easy to say not to give up, but it's just so easy to give up because I am so tired. Like, I am so tired of trying and nothing happening. And so my advice to the girls that are going through this, to the couples that are going through this, is just keep trying until there's nothing else to do. Just keep trying. I mean, if you want it, God will give it to you, and just pray. He's the one that can heal you. He can use doctors. He can use so many things. I have so many friends that are trying for the second time, and people say, well, you already have 1 baby. Well, yes, but having already 1 baby and trying for a second baby and not happening is just so hard as well. And so don't put down the girls that are trying for a second baby because they already have a baby. I mean, they're going through something very similar in a different way, but it's just so hard. It's as hard. And so my advice to the people that are going through this is just keep praying. Like, prayer is so powerful. Like, you can move a mountain with prayer. And so trust in God. Ask him to take you to the right doctors, guide you through the right path, and it will happen. It will happen. And if it doesn't happen, I would say just enjoy what you have already. That's what I chose to do. Enjoy life. I was able to travel. I was able to go out and do so many things.
Yeah.
People tell me, oh my gosh, I can't remember my life before my kids. And I'm like, I do. I can remember, like, I enjoyed my life so much before having kids. And if that's your case, just try to enjoy life and it will happen. Like, God will grant you that prayer. Like Anna, like for this child, I pray for Samuel when she was praying and crying in front of the altar. And so just for that child, you pray. And then if God gives you the desires of your heart, then you will be so happy. And if he takes longer to give you that, just enjoy whatever you're living right now with your husband or your partner. Just enjoy it for the moment.
That. I think gratitude can help a lot. And I know, I have a lot of family and friends that have gone through or are going through this right now. And it's really heartbreaking. But one thing that one of my friends told me, who she had been through it, and I was just kind of confiding in her, like, hey, how can I show up for my friends and my loved ones who are going through this? Because I don't know what it's like. I have no idea what they're going through. So what is the best way that I can help them? And I'd love to hear your advice on this as well. But she said to just hold space for them and to be like, yep, this sucks. And like, don't try to be like, well, look at the silver lining. She's like, no. Just like be in the suck with them and like, be like, yeah, this sucks. And like, allow it to be there.
Yeah. It's just so heartbreaking, and you cannot understand unless you go through it. It's just that sort of pain that only time will heal, like only time, because there's nothing more powerful. I don't think there's another force that powerful than a woman wanting to be a mother.
Yeah, or having or carrying life in you for a certain amount of time.
Yes.
Like I can't even conceive that idea.
It's just so powerful that people can go crazy.
Yeah.
And so that's a great advice. Just give them space and be with them through the pain.
Yeah. What would you say to the girl that is going through it right now and she's experiencing, like you said, just crying so much, like she can't stop crying, right? But she's trying to like start to move on with life. how could you tell her to help with processing those emotions, but going through it and not like just stopping there, you know?
Yeah. I think it's very important that she cries. She has to cry. I mean, I remember I did not want to cry, but my body would want to cry. Like I would just be standing there and my tears would start coming, like falling down my face because my body was sad.
Wow.
And so cry all you need to cry and hurt all you need to hurt. And then when you're done crying, then start moving forward when you're done crying. Because if you don't cry, then you're going to start becoming bitter. And if you become bitter, then that's going to hurt your emotions. That's going to hurt your spirit. And that's not going to help you get pregnant. Again, you know, all of that affects like your cortisol levels, your stress levels. So right now, if you are going through this, just remember after the storm, it will come the sun. Like there is another side to the story. Like you will be better. You will be.
Thank you. That's so helpful. And I know it's going to help so many. And I know it's a very personal and vulnerable subject. So I appreciate you opening up and sharing that. Please, women, if that helped you, please reach out to Priscilla and let her know that her story really helped you. Because I think it's powerful just to know that sometimes being vulnerable, and I think the vulnerability is actually the strongest thing. Yeah. So I know sometimes, you know, you may not want to talk about it or you may not want to share your feelings on a certain thing, but I think it's so strong and I think it's powerful, and I think that it can really speak life into people. And I think that's what you just did. I think you spoke life into women that are listening to this that like really needed to hear what you just said. So thank you for sharing that. I want to shift a little bit, and I want to know, how has motherhood shifted your perspective of life?
It's just, I think like every parent would agree that all you will hear is Cocomelon, and that's kids' music. Yes, exactly.
Cocomelon?
She doesn't know. That's so cute.
Is this a thing I should know about?
No, you shouldn't.
Moms, comment below. Do you know what that is?
Or the wheels on the bus go round and
round. I know that one.
Yeah,
round
that's good.
Round.
Yes.
Round and round.
So everything will change. Everything will change.
I almost just spit out my water for those of you that are not watching. I expected this like deep answer, and she's like, Cocomelon, everything will change.
Look at it, Cocomelon. Yeah, that's all you will hear.
Okay,
Cocomelon, and you know, like Little Angel, all of that. And then your life will go around the kids. Like everything in your house, you're not going to have clothes on the floor. You're going to have toys on the floor.
Is this it?
Cocomelon.
You know it. What? Oh, it's like a show. This is so cute.
It's so cute.
In the bathtub. That's cute. Okay.
She's hooked.
That's kind of cute.
That's going to be her new workout music.
Actually, I'm going to put it on when I get in my bathtub. I'll send you a video later.
Please do. Everything will change. Everything. The way you sleep, the way you talk, the way you eat, the times you eat, everything. I mean, don't go into parenthood thinking your life will be the same. That's the most selfish thing you can do. Everything will change. Everything. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you walk.
Why is this?
Because, I mean, I'm not going to be wearing high heels anymore if I want to go to the grocery store. I need to wear my tennis shoes, you
girl,
know?
I never wear high heels to the grocery store.
I was a girl, like, I'm going to go to the... I'm Latina, like... you can ask any Latina.
It's a cultural thing,
It's
right?
a cultural thing. You don't go out.
Which I respect.
If you don't go, like, pristine, like...
Gotcha.
Like, you have to go look your best. Your Sunday best.
Your Sunday best. I get it. I mean, I get it. It's like presenting yourself the best way possible all the time.
All the time.
I get it.
It's just so inconvenient when you're a mother.
For me.
Exactly. And it's so comfortable to just wear your tennis shoes and go around. Or not even wearing makeup. Like, who is this person? Like, everything will change, but it's so worth it. When you see those little kids, Mommy, thank you, or like whatever, even if they're crying, okay, so for those parents that had such a hard time getting pregnant and your kids are throwing a tantrum, just remember that. Like,
they will throw tantrums.
They will. Just remember how much you wanted them. Like, sometimes I have to stop myself and be like, I wanted this kid so much.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but it's so hard.
I see what you're saying.
It's
like, ground
so
yourself in gratitude when you're having hard parenting moments.
I mean, it's being a parent, I'm telling you, is the hardest thing in the world.
Wow.
Is the hardest thing. because here you are responsible for a new life that knows nothing, and that everything that person, the little person, will know and learn will come from you.
Oh my gosh.
Or someone that will take care of that person. So who is that person going to be?
Oh, wow.
You know, such a huge responsibility, you know?
It is, yeah.
It's you have to be very responsible. And you know what? Once you become a parent, like things that you think were important are no longer important. Like
it kind of readjusts your core values a little bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like things that you thought, oh my gosh, this is so important for me, becomes like
negligible.
Oh, absolutely. Being a parent, survive, and then make sure your kids survive. It's like number one. But answering your question, what changes when you become a mother or a father? Everything.
I think a lot of parents can relate.
Yeah.
So, okay, switching gears a little bit. You are the owner of 9 Round Gym. Talk to me a little bit about what you love most about your gym and the members, and then also just kind of shout it out if anyone's in the area. That way they're able to come visit you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're in Rosenberg. We actually were the first 9 Round in Houston area, which was a Pecan Grove location. We already sold it, and then we also acquired another location in Sugar Land, which already sold. So we at one point we had 3 gyms. But it's so funny how God works, because before the pandemic hit, we sold 2 of our gyms. March 1st, March 10th, the pandemic hit. I will never forget that. All the gyms were locked.
Oh my gosh.
We were not able to do anything. And so that was such a great blessing that we were able to just get rid of 2 gyms and just keep that one. Okay. But answering your question, it has been an amazing experience getting to know people that are so real, that just come to you and like, I just want to lose 20 pounds. I just want to look better. Like the mom that comes in and like, I just want to go back to looking like myself, you know, like, and just being able to see those transformations and see those people, like, I'm pretty sure you see that all the time, like people that you help.
Yeah, it's so rewarding.
So rewarding. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, but I became friends with so many of my members, like so close friends with members of my gym that I am so grateful for. You get to meet people, you get to see them work really hard. Listen, I would do the workout and I would be dying. And
100%.
Then I see people coming that, you know, that they're barely starting their fitness journey and they're do the work. And I'm like, how in the world?
It's motivating, right?
It's so motivating. And like they see the motivation of these people to really like look better and become a better person, and then seeing them kick better and punch better and do a push-up better. Like I remember this lady that I love that when she first started, she couldn't do a push-up. So I told her, we're going to start with wall push-ups. So you just lean in the wall and then just do your push-up. And she ended up doing like the full push-up on the floor.
That's amazing.
Yeah, after months. And then so you get to see that, and that's so rewarding. And then people see you as family, like, and they really love you. And then you get to share so many things with them, and then they come and they see you as a like someone they can talk to you about, like when you go to get your hair done, and then people that, you know, like you hear all the stories, like, and then my husband, and then my son and my daughter, and then you get to be there for them too. It's like it's just like a small community that becomes family. And so I absolutely love it. Being an owner, it's not easy. Like being a business owner is by far one of the hardest things after parenting, for sure. But it's really hard. When you're not your own boss, and then you have to have people working for you, and dealing with, we always deal with that, members that are not happy or issues, or someone broke a leg, or, you know, things like that. It's so challenging. Oh yeah. I mean, we never had someone breaking a leg, but you know what, well, we actually did, but a lady broke.
You're like, wait, no, we did.
She broke her hip, but going down the stairs outside the gym. But still, like those things. I mean, it has ups and downs, and it's really, really hard. People that my advice for people that say that they want to have a business, just really make sure it's something you really, really love to do.
Yeah, that's so true. I think that's real, because on the hardest days, if you have that why, that like really strong conviction of like, this is meant for me, you'll be able to push through.
Exactly.
And if you don't, you will throw in that towel.
It's gonna be so hard. It's gonna be so very, very hard. And so if you want to go into business with something, I know right now it's really hard because of the pandemic and everything being so close to being shut again. And so with all the numbers coming up, and it's just so hard. And we are living such uncertain times right now that you don't know where things are going. But if you choose to do something, just make sure it's something that you absolutely love, that you would do for free.
Yeah, I think that's such a good, blah, blah, blah. A lot of words
I think
today.
so too.
See, you are a mom. You understood what I said. I was going to say, I think that's a really good tool to use as a direction, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, should I go in this direction or not?
If you would do it for free, then do it.
100%.
Yeah.
I would do this for free. I actually do my podcast for free.
You guys,
No ads, you guys. Did you realize that I've done
You guys
200 and almost
Wow.
20 episodes with no paid ads?
That's amazing.
I could be rolling in the dough, but I don't like listening to ads. When I listen to a podcast, it's so annoying.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, I don't want to be annoying.
You guys are in for a treat every single time.
Well, okay. To wrap up the show here, I wanted to say, what is your number one like goal or focus, or maybe something that you're really looking forward to in 2022? It's a new year.
It's a new year. You know what? It's so funny that you asked me that question, because I am not a person that has New Year resolutions. I never do. I just go with the flow, and everything I do, I just want to do it better. Like, how can I get in better shape? How can I cook better? How can I be a better mom? And if you're a person that always throws the towel after 3 weeks, because that's the mark, 3 weeks,
100%.
like it's today actually is the third week of January. So today is the day when most people drop their New Year's resolutions out the window. And so if you are that person, you're not alone. Like, we're all like that. So that's the only one reason I don't have New Year resolutions. I just have daily resolutions. Like,
I love that.
it's just so much easier. Like, can I do this for 24 hours? Yes, I can. Versus, can I do this for 365 days? It's just like such a huge commitment.
100%.
So it's just so, it's overwhelming.
She's like, I'm stressed thinking about it.
Exactly. That's a good point. I don't do anything that causes stress for me because I suffer from anxiety.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay.
And so if it's going to put a lot of stress on me and it's not going to give me joy, then I don't do it. I just don't do it. Like, I know some things require you to come out of your comfort zone. I understand that. And I do that. But if it's going to rob of my joy and if it's not going to make me a better person, I just don't do it. I just seriously don't do it. So having resolutions gives me anxiety because I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. And I'm a perfectionist. And so I'm going to beat up myself for not being able to do this for 365 days.
Yeah, I think that's real. And I think a lot of people relate to that. So, and it's interesting because that's literally exactly what I do in my program. I have them set their daily habits and like their daily list of things that they want to execute on. Because I agree. I think habits and daily action is everything. And if you can just focus on what is it that I need to do today and do that to the best of your ability, be the best mom, cook a delicious dinner. And when you're doing it, do it to the best of your ability, practice excellence in it, utilize resources. If you don't know how to make it better, Google it.
Exactly. My gosh, you can Google anything, how to become a better parent, how to become a better dog mommy, how to become anything better. Just do one thing a day.
I don't know. I think I'm the best dog mom. I don't really think I can get any better.
She's so good with her dogs. Like, I've never seen anyone better than you.
Thanks. Isn't she the best friend? That's the friend that you guys need. I've never seen anyone better than you.
She's like, I
love you. Thanks. Well, Priscilla, it's been amazing having you on the show. Thank you so much for being on.
I am so happy to be here. Like, this has been so amazing. And seriously, guys, this is like a regular conversation. This is how we would talk.
I know. I was just thinking that in the middle of it. We start out laughing. We go into like tears. We talk about spirituality and God. And then we end on talking about being dog moms.
I know. Exactly. This is a normal conversation between Emily and I.
You guys let me know if you enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you want me to have Priscilla back on the show. And if so, which topics you would want us to talk on, because I feel like we could have a lot of fun.
I know.
Having a little girl talk. Sometimes I'll do episodes with multiple girlfriends. So maybe we can do that.
Yes.
All right, guys, you know the drill. If you enjoyed today's episode, do me a favor and tag us both on your Instagram stories. Let us know what your favorite part of the show was. Make sure to subscribe if you are not subscribed to the show or to the show YouTube channel. Don't forget, tag my show Instagram. You can tag my personal Instagram, but tag the show Instagram as well, Evolve with Emily Podcast, so that the podcast page can repost you guys. And Priscilla's, all of her information will be in the links down below. And make sure, if you're in Rosenberg, Texas, or Sugar Land area, or any of those areas right around, go check out her gym. Tell her that I sent you, and she will definitely make sure that you're well taken care of.
Yes, you'll get a free week.
Really?
Yeah.
Free workout. There you go.
Free week.
Free week. That's awesome. All right, guys, have a great one, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you.